start of a new season for you guys. You guys set the bar pretty high. Last year expectations, I'm sure, are just right up there again. Just talk about getting ready in the preview.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, when they walked in this fall, they kind of had a different look in their eye of kind of their expectations. I think when you haven't been to a regional 11 years, and as the coaching staff, you're challenging them to get there, and we're trying to figure out how do we get there, and then you finally get there, you get a taste of it. And, the way that regional played out, of some great games and the way it ended, although they were really happy with the way the season went, there was also that left of emptiness there at the end. And so our older guys, returners, all came back hungry, ready to go. And so it's definitely not coming in satisfied with what we did in 1 year, and more importantly, they know what it takes to get back there. So really proud of how they come and went to work every single day at the field, in the weight room, how they went about just their day-to-day business. And they kind of have that look in their eye like they're ready to go. So excited to strap it on with a different team and a different colored jersey, and Philly stands up and get after it for another season.
And that's another thing. This is a whole different team for you guys. Still got a lot of people returning, but still different. How do you go about having them gel again and all that, the usual stuff?
Yeah, we spent a lot of time with that. We spent a lot of time with our guys with some team culture days. We challenge our guys to spend time together off the field, and so I've got to give credit to our older guys and making sure that happens. And so anytime you bring 15, 16 new guys into the program, that's new personalities, that's new people to understand who they are, where they come from, and so we spend time of trying to figure that out. And the faster they do that, the faster they have a chance to get out here and win baseball games. And so it's a close-knit group, and I think they understood that last year they were so tight that they had to do the same thing this year as well. And so you see pitchers hanging out with hitters, seniors hanging out with freshmen. There's no there's no division in any of that stuff. So that's fun to see from my point of view, that they're getting along and care about one another.
Where you finally closed the book on last year and you're starting a new chapter, but what did you take from last year's theme that you can learn to use for this year?
Yeah, the biggest thing was, just taking day by day. Don't get ahead of yourself. I thought our team did a great job of not looking towards the future, or as soon as we got ranked, start thinking we've arrived or we made it. It was just a day-to-day operation. And so we would always have the midnight rule after a win, celebrate it to midnight, and then get ready for the next day. And so they just kind of kept doing that. And I've said this multiple times, I thought our biggest win was we beat Georgia State on a Thursday to win the Sun Belt Championship. And then the next day, this team understood that it was more about just winning the Sun Belt. We were trying to host, we were trying to win more games to get to a better seed, and we come back the next day, win again on Friday, and then again on Saturday to go undefeated on the road. So we just got to take it day by day. There's going to be good moments, there's going to be bad moments. Just don't let them carry over. And if we can stay in the present moment, the more times than not, then we'll have a chance to win baseball games.
How much does it help to have the experience come back? The arms, and, just the players know what it takes to get there and what it's going to take to get over that next hump.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. I mean, we practice a lot on dealing with adversity, and those guys understand it. A lot of those guys, we're here for our bad year, then here for our great year, so they've been through all of it. So they understand how quick it can turn one way or the other. So, cherish every day and get after it every day. And same thing, we're going to go through the season and get after it. And the biggest key is just keep pushing forward, keep staying in the present moment. But those guys have been there, done that. They understand, they've seen it all. So when you have that veteran group, it really makes you rest your head at night a little bit better.
Coach, with the amount of talent that's coming back and then the amount of players you added during the offseason, what about this team do you think can improve on? Even though the last year's team set a very high mark, what can this team improve on from last year?
Yeah, I think one, hoping, if you just look at stats, I would say our fielding percentage. I think last year, although we played pretty good defense, I thought, but from a number standpoint, I thought our fielding percentage could go higher. This team has done a pretty good job of playing catch and pick up the baseball. And so this might be a deeper staff than we had last year. We still got to replace some guys, and really hard to replace the stopper of the year. I don't know if that will be one guy that replaces Stivers, but this might be a deeper staff, through the entire rotation down to the bullpen and more just more arms. And so our job as a coaching staff is to figure out what roles they buy into and what roles help us win baseball games. But I think if there's one side to improve on, probably just our fielding percentage, trying to take that higher.
Can you talk about kind of the change in mentality that this team, even though the regional appearance was a great experience, everyone doesn't want to stop it. They want to continue to make Texas State, a big mid-major power team. And not only in the Sun Belt but in the nation.
Right.
How has that mentality changed since last season?
Yeah, I think one, they understand how hard it takes is to even get back to a regional, and that's always our goal in our programs. We have multiple goals, but the biggest key is, however it is, either winning the tournament or winning enough games to get an at-large bid. Our goal is to make the NCAA tournament. That's the end-all be-all for us. And then once you get in it, then it's 64 teams battling to make it out. And so for us, one, getting back to that moment will be a huge piece. If we win another Sun Belt along the way, that's awesome. But our key is to get back in the tournament, and then hopefully get those last 3 outs and find a way to knock down that next door. So it's really hard to repeat to get back to where we are. And so we're not going to put the cart before the horse and just think just because we have X amount of returners or experience, we're just going to get back there. It takes one, staying healthy. It takes two, playing really well, and some guys stepping up into some of these roles we've talked about to get there. And so the hunger is there, though, to try to make more noise and to go somewhere this place has never been before.
And a lot of these players are getting a lot of accolades. What's one player do you think that's not getting a lot of love that's going to make a major impact this season?
There's a lot of them. To me, it's hard to not go right from, if you think of a returner, to go right to Ben McLean, obviously center fielder, leadoff hitter. He kind of gets us going, and had some small injuries last year back and forth, but he's a guy he's a sixer guy, so he's 24 years old and been through all the battles, and he's a guy that I could see could have a monster year, carried off of what he did last year.
With a lot of these newcomers coming in, who are some players do you think that could be, not only make an impact now, but perhaps in the future?
Yeah, I think, just starting first with Davis Powell. He was a guy that came in from Grayson, and, just a really good, all we heard about it, he's a really good baseball player. He's a baseball writer. He loves baseball. He's out here all the time, and so he's a really, really good defender. He's a really consistent defender, and he led our team in hitting this fall. So excited to watch that hopefully carry over in the spring and help hold down that shortstop job. And then, probably 2 guys on the mound. Nathan Medrano came over from U of H. He's a really good right-handed pitcher, and then Jack Stroud from Weatherford College, another really talented left-handed pitcher. So we've got some talented guys that came in, and so just excited to see them do it for the first time with the lights come on and another team walks in, and like I said, this place filled up.
After last year, did you learn anything that you're hoping, what was the biggest thing you learned last year that you're hoping to implement into this season?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is we talk about all the time, is just stay neutral. Stay neutral with our emotions, stay neutral with, when something goes good, awesome, get up for it, but not too high. When something goes bad, don't get too low. Just try to stay as neutral as we can. Baseball's a tough sport. Guys are gonna walk guys, you're gonna hit guys, you're gonna make errors, you're gonna strike out, you're gonna hit a home run. And so if you ride the roller coaster, it's really tough for your team to be consistent. And that starts with myself. I have to be neutral. I can't be, there's times you got to get excited, at times you got to get after your team, but we just got to stay neutral as we can. And if you do that, you have a chance to be in control yourself. And if you do that, you have a chance to control your performance. And so just try and stay neutral through the good and through the bad.
How exciting is it to get this season started after last season?
Oh yeah, I'm itching to get back on the field, and so is everyone else. I think everyone knows what we have to live up to, and everyone's prepared for it, and we're ready to do it.
You guys set the bar pretty high last season.
Definitely.
And the expectations probably to get back there even past those.
Oh.
You guys were last season and finished. How hungry does that make you guys, and that chip on your shoulder to get back there?
I mean, I think top through bottom, everyone in the program is just ready to get back right where we left off, and like you said, hopefully get further and then more. I think we have the tools to do it, and everyone's ready. Like I said,
It helped to have all that experience back for you guys.
it helps a ton. It helps a ton. I mean, I think that's one of the things that makes us realize that we can do it. So I don't want to say easily, but that we are capable of it, because having everyone there and experience what we went through, I mean, along with the ups and downs, we're prepared more than ever for this season.
Coach said there's a mentality kind of has changed over this season, especially being in the regional. What have you seen personally that's kind of, I guess, the mentality of this baseball program that's changed from last season to now?
I think one of our coaches said we've gone from the hunters to the hunted. We got a pretty big target on our back, conference champs, and made a big splash in the regional, and I think that's how our mentality has changed. We're not going to surprise anybody this year. We're going to just bring it right to them. They know who we are, they know what we got, and we're going to bring it.
And how does that change, from last season, y'all are out to pick off, a lot of these really big programs, to now everyone's in y'all's position, they're coming up to y'all. How do y'all, I guess, adjust for that? As you were saying, from being the hunter to the hunted?
Right. I think there's two ways you can look at it. You know, you can let it be nerve-wracking. You can let it be like make you uncomfortable. But the other way you can look at it is to bring it head on. You know, to face it. You're gonna have to play them either way. And at the end of the day, you're playing against that little white ball, and not necessarily the other team. You know what I mean?
And going from, even though y'all set the high bar last season, what's something that this team can improve on, and what can you improve on your game coming into this season?
For me, myself, I think defensively, I would like to make a lot more, some web gyms, you know. I think also I would like to see me perform just better throughout the entire year. You know, I've always had, I don't know, I guess when it gets hot outside, I get hot outside, so that's all. I'm always thankful for that. But I mean, this year for me personally, I want to get it right from the jump. You know, from game one, I want to be ready. And as far as the team goes, we've made strides in all types of places. I heard Coach Trout say earlier that our bullpen and our rotation is a lot deeper this year, and I agree with that. Like he said, we do have some replacements to make, but I think we're just a deeper team and a more mature team, and like you said, experienced.
With all that stuff, how's the team bonding, with the new guys coming in? How are you guys taking them in under your wings and gelling with them?
I mean, it's with open arms, you know, and they help too with buying in so easily and knowing what we want to do, and for them jumping right on board and say, you know what, you're right, let's be a part of it. It's more than us. It's more than just me. It's about the team and about the program. All these new guys, Jack Stroud, Davis Powell, Butch, a whole bunch of new guys. It's just really easy to bring in, you know. They mesh really well.
Who's the player do you think that's not getting a lot of love that's going to make a major impact, especially, I guess, in the lineup?
From what I've seen is Ryder Hernandez. I mean, hopefully not everyone sees this right now because I'd like to keep him a secret, but I mean, the strides he's made from last year to this year, the spring and the fall, it's pretty remarkable. And so I'm excited to see what he does when he gets his chance, definitely.
How have you yourself and how have you noticed the team improve from last season to this season?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of noticeable things, you know, like guys like Ryder, you know, he's been hitting a whole bunch of home runs in the scrimmages, you know, and then guys like Levi, Woods, and those guys are just consistent, you know. They come out on their Thursdays and Friday scrimmages and just do what they got to do. You know, they look just as pristine as they did last season. And I would say like the scrimmages, you know, it's kind of funny, they're getting harder, you know. So I mean, I think that's a good sign of the team overall just getting better, you know. I mean, it's not like we come out on our Sunday scrimmage and it's all we're putting up 20 runs, we're putting up 10 runs. No, it's still a grind. Every single scrimmage, every practice it is. So I'm excited.
How tough are those scrimmages been? Like how intense do they really get?
Oh, guys, it gets intense, you know. At the end of the day, we're all Bobcats, right? But I mean, as you see, there's some guys wearing maroon, there's some guys wearing black, and I definitely want the black team to win today, you know. And it goes from the start of the scrimmage to the very end of the scrimmage. I mean, there's energy throughout the entire practice. It's awesome.
Another season, how excited are you to get this thing rolling after the way last season ended?
Man, I'm pumped up about it. The crew we got with us this year is, everybody's hungry. Even the new guys, they saw what happened last year, the season we had, and the way it ended. And then the returners the same way. It's like we're hungry and excited to get after it.
The biggest thing you guys learned, man, from last season coming into this season?
The biggest thing we learned is just never give up. Keep fighting. We came back in a lot of games. That 7th, 8th inning, and sometimes in the 9th inning. Just we're never out of it, and that's a big thing that we learned last year. Never out of the game.
How much does it help to have all you guys, all the returners, that know what it takes to get over that hump and
it's big.
Get over it?
Yeah, that's a big deal. Is having veterans on the team with some experience and can kind of pave the way for the younger guys and give some tips and some help here and there. And because they're going to be taking over this program when we're gone. So and hopefully we can get in another position where we're deep in playoffs and hopefully make it towards the final end. In the championship, hopefully, and then that'll give even the younger guys more experience and they can keep passing it down.
So tell us about the mentality of this team, about going from being the hunters to being the hunted.
Mm-hmm.
The target's on your back now because you guys ain't gonna surprise anybody.
Yeah.
How do you guys take on that challenge?
I'm excited about it. I never want anybody to, feel that way, look about us, and so it's exciting to go in there and have a target on our back. Yeah, it's because I want everybody's best. It's like I want their best. I don't want them to say like, oh well, we didn't throw our best player because y'all aren't very good. Nobody wants that excuse. I want that other team's best, and they're gonna get my best. So.
Coach was talking about the change in mentality of this team. That this is not like a one hit one. This has the potential of Texas State being a major power in the college baseball world. How as a player and as yourself, how are you seeing this mentality change within the program?
It's just everybody's taken a leadership role. I mean, every time our team takes another step and we go further and further, it's more experience for the older guys, and the younger guys get to experience that as well. And then they get to take some leadership roles as well. And then it comes back to culture. We're a tight-knit group. I mean, we're close as family here, so that's another big deal. We try to spend as much time as we possibly can outside of baseball. I mean, we spend so much time together with baseball, but it's a different bond you have off the field also, and that helps tremendously.
Tristan Stowers, did a very great job, becoming one of the best closers in the nation. Talking to Coach Scout, he said this pitching rotation is deeper. What have you seen? Do you think this pitching rotation can continue theirs improvement from last season?
I'm excited about it. I think we are for sure deeper this year. We lost some great guys last year that ate up some great innings for us, and we're guys that came in very tough situations, and we lost them. But we also picked up some guys that have some experience under their belts, and we have some younger guys too that have really shown in the fall and early spring that like they're suited up to maybe even take that role up. And so I'm excited about it, having a few extra guys in there that can take over some innings and some high pressure innings anyways.
With the pitching rotation, what is one thing you think this group can improve on from last season?
Our pitching staff was so great last year, but there's always something you can improve on, and so I mean it's just trying to stay gritty, man. That's another thing, is like not ever be satisfied. As great years we had last year, you can never be satisfied with that year. And I think we talked about trying to control what we can control. Like sometimes I know I let it affect me in certain games, having things happen in the field that we can't control once we release the ball. And some of the younger guys, like we noticed that they let it bother them and then take it to the next game, and then sometimes they ended up quit throwing because of it, and it's like it's not it's out of your control. So I think that's one big thing that we can improve on this year is trying to just worry about the things that we can control as a pitching staff.
How have you noticed yourself personally and the team improving from like last season?
Yeah, I've felt like this year I've really matured a lot more. Last year I was, the first year I was here, I was kind of just thrown in as a transfer or whatever. There was already preset guys or whatever, and I was trying to make my name and whatever, but I was kind of in the shadow. I'm a pretty quiet guy anyways. I like to lead by example, but I kind of lead in the back. And then last year I was thrown out there to be that guy to like really lead. And so it helped me personally to take over last year. And then this year I'm just building on it again, and I feel like I'm a lot more mature this year. And we have a lot of other guys too that are very, very mature and want to take up leadership roles. And you never just want a couple leaders, you want the whole team to be leaders, because there's going to be a position where there's going to be a freshman that needs to take a leadership role. He may not be ready, but that's what you learn. So it's exciting.
On this pitching stuff, I know that a lot of these pitchers were named to the preseason All-Sun Belt. What's a pitcher do you think that's not getting a lot of love that's going to make a major impact this year?
We got some transfers, and then starter from last year, Tony Roby, man. I love Tony. He came out there and he'd always just gritty, man. He'd just sink it in there, and he was a guy that you could count on a Sunday. A Sunday is a tough game to play because if you're up 2-0, it's like this Sunday game is just like, okay, we already won the series. Let's just get out of here and get off the road and get home. And then that was one thing that we did very well last year, was not to have that mentality. And Roby always went out there and gave it his best and gave us a shot to win. And so it's always fun seeing Roby play, and I love him as a guy, off the field and on the field.
We were talking earlier about how intense these scrimmages between the maroon team and the black team. Yes. From your perspective, how intense are those scrimmages?
It gets pretty rowdy sometimes. It's fun. We got a lot of very competitive guys out here, and we scrimmage so much throughout the year in the fall and spring, and sometimes it can get, you're just kind of doing it over and over. It's the same guys. You're throwing against the same guys. You're hitting off the same guys, so it can kind of get a little repetitive. But we try to, everybody's competitive, so you try to like make a thing. Okay, we win here, we get a little bit of, you can talk some crap, so it's pretty fun, and it can get pretty rowdy. So.
And how nice is it going to feel when Northwestern comes? You're finally seeing someone that's not wearing a maroon jersey or a black jersey.
It's gonna be fun getting to play and really bringing out that competitive side. It's gonna be really, really exciting. Get some adrenaline rush, and I'm super pumped about it, and I know everybody else is too.
How do you guys guard against not being overconfident, knowing that okay, we've done what we can do it again so easily, and not just be a 1 year thing for you guys? Try to get a new tradition out here, getting there every season and getting as far as you can. How do you guys guard against not letting down?
I think it's just a thing where staying humble, being where your feet is, like taking every step by step. It's not just a race, short race. It's a marathon. We're looking for the end goal. We're not trying to come in here just super cocky, because if you're cocky and you get caught flat-footed, that's how you get beat. And we're always going to go in knowing that we're the best team for sure, but it's not always the best team that wins. It's the team that plays the best that day. So we always go in with an open mindset that we know we're the best team, but we have to still play that way, and everybody has a role and a job to do. So if we do those jobs and we do those roles correctly, the way that we can, and we practice every single day, that we're going to win that game in every game we play.